Hello, my name is Anish Rana and welcome to this part of course where we will talk about using multiple Prometheus server and high availability. This video is crucial in terms of Prometheus as in production we run Prometheus in HA mode. Hence don't skip this video and watch till end. In this video we will discuss deeply into these topics. First is why Prometheus HA? What is the benefit of using this HA here? Second, how we can install the multiple Prometheus server. Obviously, without lab, it is not possible to learn 100%. So this is my third topic. After that, I will explain what is Prometheus Federation and its type. In last, I will walk you through the lab for types of federations we have. Let's jump into our first topic, that is why Prometheus HA. There are few reasons you might want to use multiple Prometheus servers. One main reason is high availability. High availability systems are designed to keep working even if something fails. If you only have one Prometheus server, it can easily go down. But with multiple servers, if one fails, other keeps working. High availability is not only important for customer facing software, but if the monitoring infrastructure itself is not highly available, then there is a risk that operations people are not notified for alerts for customer facing software. Thus, we need a sort of high availability Prometheus server. Now we understand why we want Prometheus HA. HA means high availability. Now we understand that why we want Prometheus HA. I'm sure that you have this question comes in your mind that can Prometheus also work in high availability like Alert Manager seen in the last video? And the answer is Prometheus does not work that way. The good part is this, you don't need a cluster to make Prometheus highly available. Okay, so let's proceed further. To understand Prometheus in high availability manner, two or more instances need to be running with the same configuration, except that they will have one extra label with a different value to identify that this alarm's coming from this Prometheus server. This configuration we need to add if we want to add replica label. Like in our scenario, we have two Prometheus server, and this is the configuration that we need to add in the Prometheus configuration file, that is replica. This is replica A, B of the second replica. The Prometheus instance scrap the same target and evaluate the same rules. Hence, there will be same data in the memory and on the disk with the significant difference with external labels, obviously. Please bear in mind that scrap and evaluation won't happen at exactly the same time because both servers scrap the data every 15 seconds by default. So one is running on 15 second and the other one is running on 17 second every 15 second for both of them, right? So we cannot start both the server at 15 second. So there will be some gap between that, but it's okay. As a consequence, query requests executed against each Prometheus instance may return significantly different results. For alert evaluation, this situation does not change anything, as alerts are typically only fired when a certain query trigger for a period of time, right? If the value is more than 80, then only it will trigger. If it's less than 65, I don't care whether it's 65, 64, 63, right? And every 80 second, then both the server will generate the alert. The alert manager can then duplicate alerts based on their label sets and only send you a single notification, right? It will not send two alerts for a single alarm. Please note that if we add the labels on Prometheus, then we must add alert label config to drop the replica label. This is what we need to add here in the alert manager configuration file. If you implement this strategy, you just make sure that Prometheus server instance run on separate machine. Obviously, it should not run on a single machine as a Docker application or single thing. If we install both the instance on a single VM and that VM goes down, then obviously the both of Prometheus server will be down. So this should not be the case. it should be on a different VM, and those VMs should be running on different PXI host or dedicated host. Okay. You can run many replicas as you want, but most people are happy with two or three maximum in the production environment. So now we have talked about multiple Prometheus server. So both are fetching the data and they have equal value. It's okay. We don't need to create any cluster like we did for the alert manager. So let's proceed for this lab. The lab will be very short. If you follow me along, you need to log in, or maybe you need to open the URL of github.com and then search Anish Rana 2001, and then Prometheus is my repository. Once you open this Prometheus, scroll down and you will see the 8th number is Prometheus high availability. Click here. After that, the first one is Prometheus HA. Open this file. Primary Prometheus server allow root user to log in from SS account. By default in Linux, SSH root user is banned. So we need to allow. I need to open this file. And this is my master one where I have installed my Prometheus server, my primary Prometheus server. It is already running. If you follow me, if you have not watched the previous video, I recommend you to watch those videos. It will be helpful for you. Let me open this file and search for this one. Permit root login. It should be yes. It should be here. And if you press N, it is here. For me, it is already yes. For you, it will be no. While doing the lab preparation, I make it yes. And then service SSH restart like this way. Okay. Now log in into worker node 1 where I'm going to install my second Prometheus server and create this file. Let me create this file and then I will explain you what is this file. So worker node 1 is my second VM, or you can say that my second instance. Let me go to here, ls space ltr. I should not see anything here, node exporter that we covered the last lab, and paste it over here. Now let me explain you what this file contains. First, I'm adding the Prometheus IP address. My primary Prometheus IP address is 131 and the worker node IP address is 32. And then I will going to add the user Prometheus minus M, R, and S. I have already explained in my first video. After that, I'm going to create one directory, etc Prometheus and where lib Prometheus. After that, giving the permission to this directory, Prometheus. Further, I'm going to create another directory inside this etc Prometheus rule that will contain the rule that we created the alerts inside this rule directory. After that, I will download the Prometheus package from directly from the Prometheus server. So this is my GitHub Prometheus. You can leave echo. After that, extract this .tar.gz file. Further, I will go in after the extraction. There will be one directory. I will go inside this directory and then copy Prometheus and Prom tool binaries into USR local bin so that I don't need to use absolute path. Giving the right permission to this directory, these files inside this directory, and then chown giving the right privileges, cp these files, copy these files into this directory. And further, we will going to create a service. In the first video, I have already explained that why we are doing these things. If you have not watched this video, you must watch my first video, Prometheus installation. And after that, it will ask me to execute some command manually that we will do it. Okay, so let me copy, giving the execute permission to this file, and after that execute this file. So let me go here and press enter. Now, as you can see here that it is downloading the package and then it is extracting. To save the time, I developed this script so that you can use. Now this script is completed and it says that now you need to execute the below commands for copy the primary server. This is my variable that I need to use. After that, I need to copy using the root user and it will copy the prometheus.yaml file. Here I'm not going to create a new configuration file here inside this directory. Let me go here, Prometheus, and there is no file with the Prometheus YAML file. Okay, so it will be download directly on the temp file. After that, copy it to the slash temp directory. I can move this file to here. After that, it says that scp 192.192, this one, blah blah blah, and colon. Now all these files are created here on this second Prometheus server. I'm not going to create any new alerts. All alerts what we have on primary server, it will be showing here. Let me show you here. When I execute the up command, all instances are up. If I click on alerts, I see these alerts. Right? These are the firing alerts. I should see these alerts on my second Prometheus server that I configured. Okay, let me go here and what it says. This is what I already executed, and let me execute this command here to giving the right permissions. That's it. After that, I need to check the prompt tool config, and it should say all successful. If it's this is the case, then it means that we are in right direction. Warning: JSON file script node does not exist. Okay, it says this is not exist. It's okay. It's just a warning. Now I can start the Prometheus service here. And after that, I can also check the status because recently I installed this server. So I should check the status and it is active and running. Enable the service so that it will be restarted. How can I do the post checks? These are the post checks that you can execute. Localhost, when you see graph, it means that it is working fine. After that, we can use slash matrix 9090 port number. Now I can see all the metrics here. Further, what we can do here, we can also copy the URL of this one. Copy and paste it over here. This is my 31 IP and this is my 32 IP. So this is my second Prometheus server. If I execute here up, it should give me the same result what I have here. You can graph and up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instances are here. 1, 2, 3, 4. The fifth one is not showing here. Okay, the one that we configured for static binding. And that was showing me the error here. If I scroll up, when I executed this command, it gave me the error message that this file is missing. If I create this file here, let me copy this file also 92.8.1.31 colon this one, and it should be on temp directory. Now, after some time, it should see the fifth one here also. Okay, I will check after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but let's proceed with our lab. And this is my lab here. And if I click on rules, I should see all the rules here. The same rule what we have configured for first Prometheus server. You don't need to do all the exercise again. Just copy the configuration file, rule file, that's it. And our both Prometheus servers are up and running. Server goes down, sorry, this Prometheus server goes down, then this Prometheus server will forward all the alarms. If I click here, runtime and build, I see two alert manager. So let's back to our theory part. Federation. Prometheus supports the availability to pull metrics data from one Prometheus server to another Prometheus server. This allows you to have local Prometheus server monitoring a small set of application and services, while also passing other data or some data to other Prometheus server for aggregation or centralization. This process is known as federation. In this lesson, we will discuss how federation can be used with Prometheus, and we will demonstrate how to federate data between Prometheus server. In short, we can say that Federation allow a Prometheus server to scrap selected time series data from another Prometheus server. Very simple. One Prometheus server, so this is getting different data and this is getting different data, but we can fetch some data that we are interested from the Prometheus 2, from Prometheus 1 server. That's a beauty of Prometheus server. So let's understand. And this is the official link. If you want, you can go to this link. I will add in the description of this video. You can check it. Federation are two types: hierarchical federation and cross service federation. Let's talk about federation, hierarchical federation. With the help of example, it is very easy to understand. We have 5 data center and each data center has its own Prometheus server. So we have 5 data center here and it has 5 Prometheus server, different Prometheus server. Now I want a global or a centralized Prometheus server that pull these aggregate data from this local Prometheus server. So this data center, this is a local Prometheus server and this is a global Prometheus server. Okay. It says that these Prometheus servers called as low level Prometheus server or local server. These are low level server or local server. Each Prometheus server collect data in high details such as using recording rules that we had already covered. In higher level Prometheus server, global Prometheus server, which collect and store only aggregated time series data from those lower Prometheus server. That's it. This provide an aggregated global view and detailed local views. So this is the benefit of using Prometheus Federation. I hope it is understand. If you have any question, do let me know in the comment section. I will try to answer you, but not guarantee. Cross Service Federation. What is this? One Prometheus server is configured to scrap the time series data of infra part, means nodes, CPU, RAM, disk utilization, and so on. And other Prometheus server is configured to scrap the data of application only. In Kubernetes term, monitoring the pod resources. This is what I have said. So let's understand with the help of example here. We have one Kubernetes cluster, and inside that cluster, multiple customers are running their applications. You are responsible only for the cluster management, but different team members or different customers which are running their application, they are responsible for their own objects, not for other namespace. Now, being as an infra team, you deployed the Prometheus server. You are observing only for CPU utilization, RAM, disk utilization, network utilization of the cluster level, not the application. Every application owners deploy their own Prometheus server and checking their ports. Sometimes customer says that we need to know if we have enough RAM or CPU resources available at node level. For that reason, we will ask them, okay, you can collect the data from our Prometheus server. In that scenario, they are using cross-service federation. The application monitoring Prometheus server scraps CPU uses of infra monitoring Prometheus server, which help to run the query of CPU uses and application CPU uses. Now, I hope it is clear that where we can use cross-service federation. The Prometheus server also expose all data on slash federation endpoint, which allow us to retrieve the current value for the selected set of time series in that server. Retrieve the specific time series data, we can use match parameter. We can use matrix name or labels on match syntax. That's it. So let's check how we can configure this hierarchical and cross level Prometheus server. Click here and go back. And after that, click on Federation. So let's create the Federation Prometheus server on worker node 2. It's a third VM. Let me go here and create this file. In this Prometheus server, what we are going to install only the simple Prometheus server, and we are not going to copy anything from other Prometheus server what we had done. with previous one, right? This is the reason here I'm not going to copy anything, rules and everything from another server. Let me execute this server, this script. Now it is completed here. So let's check if it's created the right files or not. It just copied the default configuration Prometheus file. Let me open this file here. As you can see here that everything is in default. Let me clear the window and follow the lab. Now before starting the service, let me check the configuration file. It should be okay because we have not added anything here. But yes, in production environment, we should check the configuration text before restarting anything and check the status. It is running, active and running. Let's proceed for the post checks. If I see here graph, it means that it is working fine. Also, what I can do here, I can check the metrics on port number 9090. Prometheus works on 9090 port number. Further, if I copy this URL and paste it over here, I should not see any rules here. The reason behind is that we have not copied anything from the Prometheus server, right? Our Prometheus server is up and running, and now we can add the Federation configuration. Let's open this file. This is the default file on this worker node 2 and add this information. But it says the job name is Federate. Any job name you can add here. Scrap interval is 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds, it will scrap the data from the server that will define here. I will show you in a minute. Owner underscore label equal to true. It preserve the original label of data that are pulling. Okay. And matrix path is slash federate. This is what I showed you in the theory part that we Prometheus also expose their matrix on slash federate directory. The parameter here is match. It says that it exclude here exclamation sign. It says it exclude Prometheus and grab everything. If I go to my first Prometheus server, I see number of jobs are running here, right? So it will exclude this Prometheus and should fetch everything from here. Okay. And static config is target is 31. It means that this federate Prometheus server will fetch the data from this server and exclude this job and fetch every job. Okay. You can use job equal to node exporter. You can use job equal to my HTTP SD, whatever the job name is configured on primary server or which server you want to fetch the data. Okay. Let me copy all this stuff here. So here hash means comment. It is not taking into the consideration. I just added so that you can have a look into this. Copy and it says inside, or you can say that beneath this scrap config I need to add here and paste it over here. That's it. Save. Now I modified the configuration file. Let me check the syntax. Everything is good. Reload the configuration with the help of kill all. Now it's time for again a post checks. 33 90 90 I have already opened here. Let me remove tools here and 1990. Now this time I should execute the up. I see only a Prometheus, but it takes some time and then it will after 15 seconds it will pull the matrix from the primary Prometheus server. You can say that. Let me refresh the page here. And now you can see here that it fetched the data from the another Prometheus server. And this is my 33. This is how the federate work. That's it for this lab. If you have any question, do let me know in the comment section. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon so that you will see more informative video. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Namaste.